Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to the Branding for Entertainers podcast, where we talk about your visual, verbal, and virtual brand and why it matters.
This podcast helps entertainers grow and become someone that your clients and audience remember long after your gig is over.
And now, here's your host,
Billy Diamond.
Hello, my name is Billy Diamond, and welcome to the 7th episode of Branding for Entertainers. I thought today might be a really good time to take a special look at a lot of different entertainers, performers, magicians. I have a couple of different people on that I've made phone calls to or have called me, and just to talk about why they are so thankful to be a performer or an entertainer of some sort. And so today's episode is going to entail that, just a couple calls after calls, and let you into their world just a little bit and why they are so grateful. And I hope today finds you grateful as well. It's kind of sad sometimes that we step back, and today, or as you listen to this Thanksgiving, it's only today that you're thankful. So right off the bat, though, I am thankful because with me today I have my son.
What's going on, guys?
And also my daughter.
What's up?
And that is Ryan and Chloe. And so it's kind of nice to have them with me today and just kind of do a special family podcast, if you will, or at least an intro. And I'm going to save my, as far as being an entertainer is concerned, I'm going to save that for the end because I have a really special guest at the end of this that I am truly thankful for, that actually, as a young kid, revolutionized my life in the world of magic. And it didn't seem like a big astonishment, but for me it was, and for that I'm grateful. But on a personal note, I'd just like to say today that I truly am grateful to have my son and my daughter. So with that being said, Chloe, would you like to go first and just I know you're not an entertainer, and Ryan, you're not an entertainer, but let's just leave the audience in a little bit into our own world as far as what we are grateful for today. So, Chloe, do you mind going first?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, just like everyone, I'm grateful for my friends and family, and just even some of the new friends that I've met in the past couple months. And I'm also very, very, very thankful for the fact that I just found out that I'm going cyber school soon.
Yippee!
And I am super happy about that. I'm just very happy that I have the opportunity to do so, and also thankful for my parents for helping me through the process of it. And I guess along with the whole entertaining thing, I'm also thankful for like music and my instruments and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, you have a lot of instruments,
yeah,
right?
I have a lot of instruments, and I'm grateful that I have the ability to have those. And
like the spoons, the saw,
the triangle,
tin cans, all those great instruments that I bought you over the years.
Yeah,
so,
but
what do you have? You have a guitar.
I have a guitar, a keyboard, and a ukulele.
And a ukulele. You have a couple ukuleles.
I have like 3 ukuleles.
Yeah, anyway, so music's your,
music,
music's your thing.
Yeah,
so.
music's my thing.
So you're going to make all those musicians, not magicians, but musicians out there that listen to the podcast, they're going to be grateful to you, because that is also why they do what they do, is because music can move you, right?
Yes.
And it's a really great thing. So anyhow, anything else?
Just that.
Okay.
And also coffee, because it gets me through every day. So.
Well, if you're going to go for coffee, well, let's just add bacon as well. So.
Bacon.
Yeah, everybody loves bacon.
Bacon's good.
Yeah, bacon's great. So.
And the dog, but also I guess he's literally family. So
the dog is family. So. Hey Ryan, what about you? Talk to us here.
Well, I am very thankful for like Chloe even said, and like my dad said, friends and family. And as far as for anything else goes, I'm very grateful for the job I recently just started at Sheets. And for those that aren't familiar with what Sheets is, it's basically like you go in and it's made to order kind of food, and you
and a gas station.
Yeah,
gas station basically.
It's like a huge convenience store,
and you can just chill there. So glad I got my. Extremely grateful for the people that I've met within the last month. It's been really cool getting to know them. I'm really
grateful. I
grateful.
also want to second that.
Extremely.
Because I also work there. Sorry.
It's gonna be a takeover, is what.
Yeah.
It's going to be a family business. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think it's even more cooler the fact that, I get to work with both, with my sister and just a bunch of other people. But outside of that, though, I'm really passionate. Yeah, I'm really grateful that I about film and just movies and all that stuff, and just that whole aspect, because that's really what I'm passionate about. But not to get off on a bunny trail, but yeah, those are some of the things I'm grateful for.
Yeah, it's funny for you guys not being entertainers. You both mentioned things in the entertainment industry that you are thankful for. So I think that's a good lead-in for this, and I think it'll be a good segue, because people will begin to understand that the reason that they do what they do, they probably already know, but it has impact on us, right? Right? You said for you it's film, right?
Yeah.
So movies, film. For Chloe, it's music, and so it is amazing how that is able to make such a huge impact on our lives. And the phone calls today are nothing short of that. They bring it around to why these guys do what they do. So stay tuned, because here we go for the 7th episode of Branding for Entertainers. And I really, really sincerely hope, from my family to yours, hope that you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And by the time you hear this, you'll probably have eaten. And I just hope you don't fall asleep from all that turkey. So, hey, can we say goodbye, guys? So let's
See
do
ya.
that.
Bye, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
And here we go.
Hi there, Billy. My name is Conrad Cologne. I'm a family entertainer from New Jersey. What I think I'm most grateful about being a performer is really the experience I get to give people. Growing up, I was, the kid of a single mom who was just trying her best, and my greatest memories from that weren't, the big family vacations or anything like that. It was really spending quality time together as a family. It didn't matter if we went to, a play at the local high school or went to something at our local library. It was that quality time that we just got to spend together. And now, as a traveling family entertainer, I get to give that experience to people, allow them to disconnect and connect with their families and spend quality time together. After all, life's not about, the memories that we share online. It's about the things that we do in person. It's about creating and sharing memories with our friends and family and the people that we love. And the fact that I get to do that and help people create that as an entertainer, it's truly an honor. Through the years, I've also gotten a chance to teach some students magic. And by working with youth and teaching them magic, to watch them grow and develop from these shy kids to confident young adults has been truly mind-blowing. And it's changed the way I look at magic in my life. So that's my story. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope our paths cross real soon. Have a wonderful holiday.
Hello, my name is Landon Harvey. I'm a ventriloquist in the DFW area. I do children's, family, library, and even corporate events. And I'm thankful for being able to bring the gift of laughter to every venue that I am able to perform for. When I was younger, I basically spent my youth in the hospital. I had many different things, including kidney stone surgery and things of that nature. And it was always nice to have someone there to make me laugh and just kind of help me through the rough times. And that's what I love doing for other people. So I'm very blessed and honored to be able to bring smiles with the jokes that I provide and with the characters that I build, because I also build puppets. And that's what I'm thankful for this season. Thank you.
The legendary Billy Diamond.
The legendary Kevin Lee, the comedian. I feel honored and privileged. How did I get the honor?
What's up, buddy?
So yeah, man, Kevin Lee. So tell me what it is. I'm asking this general question to a lot of my entertainer friends right now, and that is, why is it that you are so thankful to be a full-time entertainer, and especially at this time of the year as we talk about Thanksgiving? Tell me, go ahead, would you?
One, I know how blessed I am. Yeah, I've been through a lot of crap in my life. You read my book, so you know what I've been through.
Yes, sir.
Part of my book, I open up about a lot of stuff, but I get to laugh, man. I was over in the Bahamas this past March performing over there at a Landis resort, and I was there for 2 weeks. And I was walking around, I was looking at the prices of a Landis resort, and I said to myself, I'm being paid to be here to perform for 2 weeks in a place where people spend thousands of dollars to actually come to with their families, and I'm being paid to be here. It's the same thing when I'm on a cruise ship. People spend thousands of dollars getting on that cruise ship. And
Absolutely.
I'm on the cruise doing the same thing they're doing, but I'm being paid to be on that cruise. You know what I'm saying? So I live a very good life. I mean, yeah, I went through a lot of crap to get here, but I've also paid my dues to the point where I'm spoiled rotten. You know, I'm self-employed. You know, I like to get up and work a 9 to 5. You know, I mean, my life is made. You know what I'm saying? I got it made in the shade.
Sure.
You know, I'm self-employed. I do what I want to do. I work my own hours. I travel the world. I get paid to travel the world, Billy. You know, I stay in the best hotels. You know, I was in Vegas with one of the sites. We stayed at the one hotel. We stayed at the Encore Hotel. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's like a freaking 7-star hotel. You know, I got a hotel suite overlooking Vegas. That's something P. Diddy would be in. You know what I mean? So I live a good life, man. I can't complain too much. Let me say this: as an entertainer, there's nothing more gratifying or no natural high that's better than getting up on that stage and making people laugh and applaud, stand ovations, or just people coming to you after the show telling you how much they enjoy your craft, how much you made them laugh, how much they enjoy you, all that sort of stuff. Nothing beats that in the whole world, man. That's just the most amazing gratification, amazing high that you can have, man. And that keeps you going, man. After every show, the handshakes, you made me laugh my ass off. Oh, man, I had a great time. Or me and my wife haven't been out in months because we had a baby. And this is our first time having a night out, you know? All that stuff is just freaking amazing, man. And just makes you continue to really and have a ball, man.
Hey, I appreciate your time and all your efforts. And
well, thank you, sir.
So,
talk soon, buddy. Have a good day, too.
Sounds good. You too as well. Likewise.
My name is Dink Gowen. I just wanted to say that this Thanksgiving I am very thankful for being a performer. You know, I definitely owe all that to my mom. She bought me my first magic trick when I was 6 years old. When I was 11, she kind of became my roadie. I remember she would drive me around, help me carry my props, and whatever I needed, you know, to perform my magic show at that time. I can remember she was a waitress at that time in a little small town where we live, and she would save up her tips. And every couple months she would drive me to a magic shop in Louisville, which was hour up, hour back, and let me pick out something. My mom supported me all of her life, and she passed away this year in August, so I'm very thankful for having a mom like I did that enabled me to do what I love for a living. So thanks, Mom, and thank you, Billy, for allowing me to express my thanks on your wonderful podcast, and have a good Thanksgiving, my friend.
I had the opportunity to catch up with my old friend, David Davinci, and this is our conversation.
Hello, Dave.
Hey, Billy, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
We're down in Florida now on part of our tour, and wrapped up the magic portion of the theaters, and now we're doing about 2.5 weeks of bird training in Florida.
Very cool.
And drive home, do some corporate parties, off to a ship, and back on Christmas Eve.
Cool, man. I love the fact that you are getting to enjoy the family side of that in spite of being a full-time entertainer, and that is so cool. How old is your daughter now?
6.5.
Oh, my gosh. What? What happened?
I know, right? Time just goes.
Wow. That's amazing. How many countries has she been to?
I couldn't tell you how many countries, but she's been to 5 continents.
Because you lost count, right?
Yeah. There was 4 continents before she was 4. And then
oh, my gosh.
Did a 5-week tour in Australia, so that was the 5th continent.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Does she grasp the concept of that at age 6?
Yeah, it's pretty funny because the question of the day is like, "Hey, Dad, what country are we in today?"
That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I guess the biggest thing that I want to ask you, and I think my listeners want to hear, is why are you so thankful, Dave, to be or even as a family. You're a family. So you have your wife and you have your daughter who's 6, and you guys are traveling the world. You're doing all these different countries, and you're on a ship. You're doing all these different things all the time. You are a busy, busy guy. And let me reiterate, I am so thankful for your time, first of all.
Don't worry.
So why is it that you love to do what you do, and why are you so thankful, especially this Thanksgiving?
I'm incredibly grateful that we get to travel and perform as a family, and especially now Capri's at the point where she's like, hey, Dad, I think we should do this in our show. I'm like, whoa, when did it become our show? But it's really neat that she's kind of taken ownership of that, and she's talking about wanting to be a bigger part and wanting to create illusions with me, which is really neat. And that's got Greg Fruin's old Bird to Girl cage that he used with both of his kids. And when they grew up on cruise ships, they were the ones appearing in that cage, and that's been sort of passed down to me to get to see the joy of Capri appearing in that cage. And
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, just that mentorship I've had from Fruin over the years, and it's just incredible to get to kind of follow in those footsteps, because those are some pretty big shoes to follow. So
Sure.
There's that. But here's the thing that I think I'm most grateful for and most thankful for, especially this time of year, is I think a lot of entertainers forget the impact that we have. And the really neat thing about it is, as I'm on this fundraiser tour across the United States, I am raising money for cemetery preservation alliances. I'm raising money for foster kids. I'm raising money for parrot rescues. I'm raising money for different high school programs, and you name it. It's the most random things. But the neat thing about it is that we get to impact more people than we'll ever know. And I think that's one of the most powerful things about being a magician or a live entertainer. And one memory that stands out to me is when we toured with Ringling Brothers for 2 years, we did a PR type thing, an interview with a bunch of veterans, or I shouldn't say veterans, I should say widows of fallen soldiers. And it was their families. And they had experienced so much sorrow and so much grief that they finally had the opportunity to have permission to laugh and to give themselves permission to enjoy life for that 2 or 3 hours. And as an entertainer, I just lost my dad about 10 days ago. Had to fly up for his funeral. I
I'm
got
really
back
sorry to hear
last
that.
night, and it's in the middle of my tour. And the thing about it is that shows are incredibly therapeutic. As difficult as it is to get through the day-to-day, the performance side of it was able to just be therapeutic to me, and just having both sides of that impact. We don't know how we're impacting somebody, but at the same time, it becomes therapy for ourselves. And I think it's really a powerful thing.
Dave, and I'm so sorry to hear that. And as I record these messages and I talk to other people, I hear that echoing message that even as entertainers, it's very therapeutic for us. And you just said it right there. You said that. And I agree with that. I can relate to that. Those are the tough things, but let's leave on a really positive note, and that is this. So tell us what you're doing, or what you're getting ready to do, or what is so exciting about Dave Davinci and the new show moving forward.
It's been really interesting. When I filmed and produced the Magic Masters Summit, I did an interview with Gary Carson and eventually took his course on fundraiser shows, and seeing the impact that it has with the people that we're performing for is absolutely indescribable. And moving forward, it's really exciting to see that we're just wrapping up the theater tour portion of it now. As I mentioned, we're jumping into the bird training segment of this tour. Since we're in these areas, we can kind of benefit both businesses.
Sure.
But we have a 100% rebook rate for next year, and they're already booked a year in advance, so we're able to get it more concise, more profitable, and we're able to impact a lot more people that way. And we're having a great time doing it, and can't wait to see what next year brings.
Fantastic. Thanks, buddy. And listen, man, you and your family have a great time for Thanksgiving. I appreciate your time very much, and have a great holiday.
Hey, thank you. Likewise. Take care. All right, we'll see you.
Okay, bye-bye.
My name is Dennis Vander. I'm grateful that I get to do something that I love. I'm grateful that I get to be creative in my work. I'm grateful that I get to interact with my audience members in a way that is meaningful to them and to me. And I guess one of the things I'm grateful as a performer to have good friends that I can count on within the industry that are always there for me. Great people.
My name is DougStafford. Every time I do a walk-around gig, I do the wedding waltz. It's sort of the act I love doing for people. And this year, someone who saw me a year ago asked me if I remembered them. I said I didn't. They said they remembered me. They remember me because I did an effect for them and their husband who was away in Iraq at the moment. And that year, they took that card and they turned it into a Christmas ornament. And they were hoping that every year they could do an effect with me so that they would have a memory to keep on going and going and going. And at that point, that's when I knew that I actually had an actual impact on people. Thank you for letting me share.
When it comes to comedy legends in the world of magic, as far as comedy magic is concerned, you've heard the names like Carl Ballantine. Well, this guy ranks right up there, and I'm so glad to be able to call him my friend, and that is Dick Kolhafer of the very famous magic act Cole & Company. And here's our conversation.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Kolhafer.
Hi, Billy. How you doing?
Good. It sounds like you're driving.
I am.
Well, listen, I won't keep you. My question is this, especially at this time of the year, is what is it about what you do as a performer all these years later? First of all, how many years have you performed now?
Well, I started when I was 7 years old, and I did the big act for over 40 years.
Wow.
40 years with that. So, I started out when I was just a kid and kept doing it pretty much all my life, little bits here and there. Into the Army, when I traveled to the Army, I performed there too. And so I've been just enjoying it as an avocation.
Yeah.
Being an avocation.
So math's not my strong suit, but are you 82? I can't remember.
No, I'll be 81 in February.
81. Okay. All right. So anyhow, the basic question is this: as we think of this time of year as performers, of why we're so grateful to be performers and have that privilege all these years, or even guys that are just starting. What makes it so great, and why are you thankful to be a performer even today? Can you sum it up?
I'm thankful for making people happy and making people laugh. I mean, I was doing comedy magic, not all my life. I was kind of trying to be serious early on, but then I turned to comedy because I figured that's where I was at. And I just love going out there and seeing smiles and people laughing. And that's I think that's a big deal in this world today. And so I get enormous joy back from that. Awesome. And it keeps me young and happy and thriving. So I'm looking forward to my shows coming up. I'm still doing my kids shows and senior shows and banquets, 45 to an hour show. Oh my gosh, and making some money to boot. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome. So
anyway, this time of the year is making people happy and bringing smiles.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it for sure. I appreciate your time on it. So thank you so much, and I really want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy time with your family and your loved ones, okay?
You too, Billy. You too.
Okay.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks, buddy.
See ya.
Take care, Dick. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, Billy. This is Graham Rogers. I'm just taking the time to leave you a message and let you know what I'm thankful for Magic. I'm driving home. It's taking me an hour from the last show. I'm thankful for a lot of the things about the Magic community and what it's done for me. It took a shy young guy and gave him a lot of confidence as a kid. and it's opened up many doors for me. I've managed to travel the world all the way from New Zealand to live in Arizona, and I'm just thankful it's given me a avenue to influence others, primarily now performing in schools and doing fundraising shows. And through that, I can influence people and help kids learn, feel better about themselves with self-esteem. And then with the Illusion Show, I get to have kids come and see live entertainment instead of looking in at their electronic devices. So I'm beyond thankful for my magic career and my magic life. And obviously also I'm very thankful for the friends that I've made within the industry who I can network with and get honest feedback and help them in their pursuit of their career as well. Magic's been great for me, and I'm beyond thankful for it. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to say something. Have a happy Thanksgiving, Billy.
I met this next guy while I was at Magic Live in Las Vegas a couple years ago. Now, while he's an East Coast guy, it's very coincidental that I rang his phone, and guess where he was once again? Back in Vegas. But you're going to love this story. This is my conversation with my friend, Bryan Sanders.
You, Bryan Sanders, why is it that you love to perform so much, and why is it that you got into doing what you do, and why are you so thankful, especially during this Thanksgiving season?
Oh, well, that's pretty easy. Growing up as a kid, school, like elementary age, I was always, kind of the class clown. I was always trying to make people laugh and whatnot. And then when I discovered magic, making people laugh and entertain them, it took it to a whole new level. And so I just love making people smile and making people feel good about themselves and basically making them forget about all their worries and struggles that they deal with in, their day-to-day life. Very thankful for it because it was all kind of luck on how I discovered it. Granted, my grandfather did a little bit of magic.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, but I never got the chance to see him perform because he had a stroke when I was 1 year old. And when I was 15, right when I started getting into magic, he passed away. And I was left with all of his magic stuff, so I figured I'd owe it to him to push my skill as far as I could.
Oh, wow, what a great story. That's an awesome story, and I never knew that about you, and that's really unique. So you kind of felt this debt of gratitude towards him and acquiring his magic and then kind of pursuing it. So I think we can all, or even my listeners, I know I can, maybe not all listeners, but I can absolutely relate to that on the level of magic kind of got me accepted. It was something that I could help, as you said, kind of pull people out of their element as to get away from their worries and their cares and things like that. Did you ever?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you ever find on like a personal note, was that anything within you that, what am I trying to say? Did it help you as a person, I guess? In other words, you're thankful the fact that you can do what you do to help other people, but has it helped you personally in your own process? Does that make sense? Yes.
Yeah, it does make sense. It has helped me tremendously. I've always been very outgoing. However, I've always dealt with a little bit of anxiety, and still do to this day.
Gotcha.
And when I perform magic, it's kind of like an autopilot takes over, and then it kind of brings me out of that element. So not only do I give the audience an escape, but I also give myself an escape.
Man, that's fantastic, man. I really appreciate you sharing, Bryan, and I thank you so much for that.
Oh, absolutely, brother.
So, listen, man, why are you in Vegas again?
I'm in Vegas just for fun.
Cool.
Actually, my great-grandfather, who was my grandfather that passed away, it was his dad. He has always spent, he always comes out to Vegas about 5 times a year. And him and my great-grandmother would always spend Thanksgiving here at the Venetian and have Thanksgiving dinner at the Grand Lux. Well, she passed away about 2 years ago. And he still continues the tradition and spends his Thanksgiving here. So I figured, I would spend Thanksgiving with my great-grandfather this year.
That's great.
Yeah,
man. Well, listen, I don't mean to keep you. I know we'll catch up sooner or later. I know you're zipping and zagging all over the place, and I see your stuff on Instagram with you're doing a lot of news stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that, and I hope we can catch up sooner here than later.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely, man. I appreciate you having me be a part of this.
hey, you keep in touch, and you have a great time in Vegas, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your great-grandfather, okay?
I will. Happy Thanksgiving to
Okay.
your family, brother.
Hey, thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Okay.
Be good at it.
You got it. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Joe Gandelman, comic ventriloquist in San Diego here. I am always thankful for being an entertainer, and the reason is that years ago I worked as a journalist, as a reporter. And when I get out and do my shows, I literally thank God after the shows that I'm allowed to do this. And it's because sometimes things happen that shock me where I discovered how I touch people's lives. One example, several years ago I was at a camp, and I did a show for a bunch of kids, and their parents are there as well. And I do like a how to do ventriloquism bit in the show. And one kid, his eyes were almost popping out of his head. He wanted to get up and do it, so I let him get up. And he got up and he was making the puppet talk. He was saying a lot of things with the puppet. He was moving the puppet around, and he got some laughs. And then he sat down, and I saw that his mother was weeping. And I found out later she was weeping because he is autistic, and he had never done something like that before. And she was amazed at how he got into it. And the second one is sort of similar. I was doing a national tour of schools, and I was sent to a school that was developmentally disabled, and they warned me that there would be very low response on the part of the kids. Well, these kids really got into all the jokes. There's one kid who kept shouting out answers when I'd ask a question during the show. So I got him up and let him try the dummy, and he actually did the lip sync with the wigs, and he was so funny. And they said they had never seen him do that before, and he came over to me and was talking about how much he enjoyed it. The third one that really got to me was a couple of months ago, which is, again, the same type of thing that came out of left field. I was performing at a school in Tennessee, and one show, I did a show, and these were younger kids in that audience, and I went to a room with some of the kids' activities where they wanted me to walk around and meet and greet, and 3 elementary school kids just walked over and hugged me. Not that unusual, but later I did a show that had adults and kids, and 5 kids got up from middle school, 3 boys and 2 girls, and they did the lip sync. And when I got done, again, they shocked me by just coming over to me and hugging me. I really wasn't used to all of that, and it came out of left field. So I do my shows, and I do the best I can do and try to relate to the audience, but it always hits me later on how you can touch somebody when you do any kind of performing. And this to me is worth more than any kind of fee on a show or any other reason for being in this business. It's the way that you can find that you can make somebody's lives better, either for that time or maybe the impact lasts for a long time. And happy Thanksgiving.
My name is Howard Baltus, and magic has been part of my life since I'm 7 years old. I'm not going to quite tell you how old I am now, but it's a lot older than 7. This time of year, you become real thankful for family, obviously. In my life, I've always put a high value on friendship, and I meet a lot of friends that become close friends through the magic. So, to give you an example, I've been living in Mexico for the last 4 years, and of course it's a completely different language, completely different culture and mindset. But what I love about magic is that it's universal. It breaks down every barrier. I don't think barriers exist in magic. There's no politics. There's no religion. There's no age discrimination or anything like that. It's just pure, unadulterated fun from, the beginning to the end, no matter how old or young you are. It's an escape from life for a moment. When I got into it when I was 7 years old, I was fascinated by the way things work. The tricks, the concept. It was neat to learn how to do something. Now, many years later, I still think that's cool, the concept of how things work behind the scenes, but to take somebody away from their life for a moment and to have them experience something they might not have experienced in quite a long time, somewhere we all bring our childlike sense of wonder and awe and fascination with things that seem impossible, and to bring that back through magic for just a moment in time and let somebody escape their reality is, to me, what magic is all about. It's kind of fun and it's cool. Here in Mexico, it's allowed me to meet countless people that turned into friends, and the reactions are no different than they are anywhere else in the world. They're
eyes open up wide, their mouth drop. Most of the time you hear cursing. It doesn't matter the language, but that's always, for me, the ultimate compliment, especially when it comes out of the mouth of somebody that's a lot older than I am, and that does happen. But it's an appreciation for, I guess, just giving somebody a moment that they didn't have, or taking somebody away from their life for a moment. It's creating magical moments through the tricks that we've been doing all our lives. That's what's cool about magic and this time of year.
That's very cool, and that's actually a repeating theme that I hear in everybody I talk to. It's about being able to take people out of their elements for just a little bit of a moment. Obviously, my podcast encompasses not just magicians, but musicians and all kinds of performers, whether that's jugglers, ventriloquists, whatever. And so, but that is a reoccurring theme. Do you think that's more so in magic, or do you think those other art forms can do just the same exact thing? And I have my own opinion on that, but I'd like to hear your opinion, because you're actually, to reiterate, you're in Mexico. So there's a language barrier and there's things like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
No, any form of entertainment, whether it's a musician, whether it's somebody that juggles, whether it's an artist who paints a mural on a wall, whether it's a sports figure, that's all an escape, and it's all different forms of entertainment. And I think distractions are necessary in life. Moments where you just have to forget about everything are necessary in life in order to survive well. So to me, there's really no difference other than the type of art, between a musician and between a magician. I also play drums and piano, and when I have people that come over to the house, they know I'm a magician first. They don't know about the musical side, and there's always an array of instruments here, and you can take somebody away from their life for a moment and lose them in something that you create. And it all comes down to the same thing. Just, having fun with some friends and people before it all ends. I think that's what it comes down to.
So really the essence of it is really we are able to humanize it, right? On a very emotional level. Is that kind of what I'm getting out of what you're saying? That we can humanize it? Let me ask you one other question, that out of all the people I've talked to so far for this particular episode, and as I mentioned, it's this reoccurring thing of, it gets people out of their element, But for my listeners, I have listeners that are high-end professionals. I mean, when I say high-end professionals, I mean they might not be household names necessarily like David Copperfield, but they're outperforming all the time, just like you as well, where you're doing what you love and you're doing it full time. What would be your encouragement to maybe like an early stage entertainer who just feels like maybe, I don't know if I'm good enough, or, I don't have the chops that you guys have, or I haven't done this for, I talked to Dick Kolhafer of the great Cole & Company. And, Dick's been performing from the time he was 7, and he's 81 now, or almost 81. And so, you look at that and you say, well, I can't touch that. I don't have the experience. What would you say if you were to offer encouragement to my listeners to say, this is a great podcast to get them excited to know why we do what we do, but what would you say to them?
Don't be afraid. That's 3 words. Don't be afraid. Because I think that most people have a fear factor, and they don't want to try something because it's scary for them. Afraid to fail. And I'm no different. There's things that I haven't done in my past that I wouldn't allow myself to do because of the silly thing in my head saying, "Oh my God, I'm afraid I'm gonna fail."
Sure.
And at the end of the day, I think if you are able to somehow put that aside, there's a concept, reframing misbelief. If you tell yourself you're going to fail, if you tell yourself I'm afraid, you're always going to be afraid to fail.
Sure.
And if you constantly tell yourself the opposite, whether or not you believe it or not doesn't matter, if you keep repeating the opposite to yourself, I can do this, I can make this happen, and man, it's going to be good. Over a period of time, you're going to change, as crazy as it sounds, you're going to change the way you're programmed. And without getting into the psychological aspect of it, it works.
It does work, and I'm a testament to that. You know, I think you know my background of suicidality, and I used to tell people how I would look in the mirror and I would tell myself, you know what, you might be depressed, you might be sad, but you know what, you are somebody. And I know that sounds so stupid, but there's something about looking in the mirror. There's also maybe not necessarily even looking in the mirror at yourself when you really can't, but there's something to be said about verbalizing that over and over. And it's not a thing of, well, I'll just keep on saying it until it comes true, because there's a lot of hard work and energy that has to go into that too. Exactly. But there is something that begins to line up there, I think, when you say that, you know. So I guess a good lead into that would be, you know, or a reiteration to what you're saying is if you're early on in the stages of your career as an entertainer, regardless of what that is you're going to fail, right? We all have. But it's also so important to bring it back to say, you know what, I am going to do this. I am going to get better. I'm going to get better. And it's not just about saying it. It is about getting out there and doing it as well. It's finding the tools to equip you along the way. So
exactly.
Good stuff of what you said, for sure.
You know, it's always good hearing your voice.
And this is what it's all about. And, you know, I think this is another thing that I think listeners need to hear. I think too many times in our field, especially in magicians, but entertainers in general, sometimes it's really hard to have that collaborative, or we feel like everybody's our enemy. So I think it's really important to share things like this, that, you know what, there really is a good camaraderie. There really are good people out there. It's just a matter of finding them and plugging into those people and surrounding yourself with them.
Yeah. True, man. You ditch the people that are filled with the negative energy, that don't believe, that say, I don't think that's going to work. Surround yourself with the people that have the good vibes, as 60s as that might sound. But, you know, it's true. Positive people, positive reinforcement, and surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded, it all is a positive, and it keeps you up.
Absolutely. So now that you've been down there for a while, I'm gonna really put you on the spot here last minute, and that is tell my listeners something in Spanish. Go ahead.
Yo no sé las palabras. Mi acento es muy gringo, es la verdad, sí. Pero no hay problema ahorita porque estoy aquí por 4 años y gracias a Dios tengo muchos amigos. Solo 20 a 30% son bilingües. Pero para mí es necesario aprender siempre. Palabras que son más importantes, vivimos y aprendemos.
Oh, my goodness. I think we just heard the whole conversation back again in Spanish.
Not so bad for only being here a little while. But
that's pretty good.
I think I said, which is important, is we live and we learn. And hopefully we keep our minds open enough to allow ourselves to learn and grow and move to whatever the next level might be.
Fantastic, man. On that note, again, man, I wish you a very happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk real soon.
Sounds good. Love you, man. Take care.
Hey, you too. Thanks, buddy. Bye. Hey, Billy here again, real quick, and I just want to say thank you so much once again as I wrap things up here for this particular episode, of everybody who came forward with their stories and who shared just from their heart, and I hope it's been encouraging to you. And I want to remind you that if you need some extra help with your brand and getting on track, whether that's your visual, verbal, or virtual look, I really want to be able to help you and assist you. So here's my plug for the day, and that is you can find me over at brandingforentertainers.com, brandingforentertainers.com. And I look so forward to helping you. And I just want to say thank you once again for sharing your Thanksgiving with me and my family and my friends, and I hope you got a lot out of this particular episode. And I just want to say also of one more thing before I go back into the lead-in, and that is I am so thankful to be alive, because there was one point in my life that was not even close to remotely possible, that I did not want to live. But today I am so thankful to be alive. I'm so thankful to be able to share with you. And so I hope you're thankful as well, just to have the opportunity to do what you do. And I just want to encourage you, keep on being you. And now let's get back to our show.
and someone I am so thankful for that has helped me in my career over the years when I was just 12 years old and got his book, and that is children's entertainer David Ginn, and I was able to catch up with him just the other day.
Hello?
Hey, is this David?
Yes, it is.
Hey, David, this is Billy Diamond up here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. How are you?
Fine. I'm in the car with 2 or 3 other people, so don't say anything that you shouldn't.
No problem. Hey, I just you've crossed my mind so many times. I just thought I'd give a shout out real quick. I just kind of wanted to know why you are the entertainer that you are, or why you're so grateful to do what you do after all these years. I mean, you made such a huge impact on me as a 12-year-old into adulthood and a career in marketing and branding and all kinds of things like that. And you made an impact on me personally, but why is it that you do what you do, and how is it that you affect other people? I guess that's my question, and then I'll let you go after that, because I know you're a busy guy, David.
I'll answer that question. I will answer it in a nutshell.
Sure.
God blessed me with a childhood hobby that turned into an occupation. Keep in mind that I was doing magic from about age 12 until I went to high school, college, and the Army. And he also blessed me with the ability to write about things.
And a writer you are, no doubt.
I went to journalism school for that, but I learned all along the way. And so I put the two things together because I saw that, number one, I could perform magic, but I had the ability to analyze and write about what I was doing, and of course, what worked and what didn't work, but with an emphasis on what worked. Let me hold on just a second, Billy.
Yeah, no problem, David.
Anyway, I'm just letting two of my ladies out here. You can't open the sliding doors when the car is still in drive. It's a child safety feature. Okay.
Hey, you know a little bit about children, right, David?
I know a little.
A little.
The ladies who just got out of the car are both 70-something years old. Anyway, they're going in. Back to what I was saying. I'll kind of reiterate. The magic led to me writing about it because of my writing training and talent. And then the third part of my snowball, being magic and then writing, was that I found that I could stand up in front of people and explain what I was doing in a clear, concise way. So that led to lecturing, and in 1978, after I'd written about 20 books, including Professional Magic for Children and Children Laugh Louder, two of my major books, I started going out lecturing, going on tours, and I have been lecturing now for about 41 years.
Wow, that's incredible.
What I tell people is that God blessed me with this talent to perform the magic, to write about it, and then to stand up and explain it to people to help them. And then they take what I share, and then they go out and do it. And it's kind of humbling sometimes. A guy just called me yesterday and basically said that through my writing and a couple of lectures he had seen 20, 30 years ago, he had turned it into a career. It had just meant everything to him.
Well, the same, David. I remember promoting me and you too, and how much that impacted my life. It wasn't about another magic trick. It was, oh my gosh, this is a business. So I'm another one of those guys that, just like the other guy that called you the other day, is saying, wow, thank you so much for making an impact on my career. It wasn't just about this. It was about you taking your, as you said, I'll put it in your words, your God-given talents, or the things that God breathed in you and let come out of you.
The bottom line of it all, too, is that I love children.
Yeah, man.
I love them. I love to play with the children. When I'm doing a show, I'm playing with them. But I'm playing with 300 at one time. You see, I'm up there and well, we can talk more about this.
And I just want to, in closing, just say real quick how grateful I am for your time, first of all, and what you've done to elevate magic and elevate my career. I am now, and I know you're much further ahead than me, and I'm in 40 plus years of doing what I'm doing, and you've made that impact, and I'm very thankful and I'm grateful this holiday season for you, David, and for everything that you've done for Magic.
But I really do appreciate what you said.
You got it, buddy.
We'll get together.
We will. We'll talk soon, okay? Thank you, buddy. And you guys have a great holiday, and have a great holiday with your family.
Okay.
Okay, take care, David. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
This podcast helps entertainers grow and become someone that your clients and audience remember long after your gig is over.